Hi everybody, Glenn Gillard here. I want to talk about weight management today. I'm a natural therapist. I'm the original founder of Wonderfoods, which we founded over 36 years ago. And today we want to talk about weight management. We developed the formula with all the ingredients several years ago. Our aim was to provide the consumers here in Australia and also internationally with a product that made it easy to control your weight. And the whole issue around this is if you do not resolve some of the issues that affect you in one way or another, whether it's metabolism, whether it's excessive appetite, the way the liver functions, all of the things that contribute, and lack of exercise, all the things that contribute to a person putting on weight. And let's face it, you know, the world is actually ballooning at a great rate, and there's a lot of disorders that are now coming as a consequence of people being grossly overweight, especially problems with back, problems with blood sugar, and a whole array of conditions all the way up to people being fairly disabled as they get old because they've been carrying too much weight. So this particular product is a weight management product. We're not going to say in this introduction that the product is going to cure someone who's obese. That's not the motivation of this. The motivation is to give the person a concentrate of some of these marvellous ingredients that come out of nature that actually help the body ease down conditions like excessive appetite, which can be brought on by stress. It can be brought on because of overeating. Yeah, I want to mention how my brother experienced, because my brother was one of the very first people to trial this formula. He said he has a jet-setting lifestyle and a very busy, active business life where he's out to dinner all the time, and he felt that he needed to try something just to help him lose about 14 kilos. But the big thing was the amount of inches that he actually lost off his weight. Anyway, the reason I'm telling you this is because after he lost 14 kilos over, I guess, 8 to 10 weeks, his comment was that when I then stopped using the product, I felt like my digestive stomach, this was his words, my digestive stomach is smaller. I could not consume as much food at the meal time. In other words, the internal stomach had actually shrunk because of the changes in the way his digestive anatomy had improved as a consequence of not overeating all the time and feeling fuller, so that he reduced his consumption of food. So this is not an unusual, rare occurrence. People, after they've been using Figafibre once or twice a day, generally feel like they don't need to eat as much on a regular basis, which is really important in today's world, because half the reason why, or more, that we're generally becoming such a big society is that people are hungry all the time and they don't really get the level of satiety that they need. So the anecdotal comment is that this should help you reduce the amount of food that you consume on a daily basis. That will actually help you with your weight management, because it will also help you to cut down on the amount of food that you're consuming, along with your exercise and your dietary plan. The product is very, very much designed towards maintaining good satiety. Now, how it works is, first of all, we've got the biblical fruit, fig, which is one of the main ingredients. None of these ingredients are waved over the bottle, by the way. They're all in there in meaningful amounts to have good efficacy, so that the product is favoured well. Our aim is to get results and have consumers then wanting to buy this product again. So you will be familiar with some of these names, but you may be not familiar with all of them. So one of the other key ingredients is Garcinia cambogia, which is also known as brindleberry. Now, Garcinia, when it's taken around the meal time, has this wonderful effect of shutting the liver's ability down. It contains an ingredient called HCA, hydroxycitric acid, that works in the liver, and then it means then the liver will not process the carbohydrates in the liver post-meal. So therefore, the amount of energy that could be converted into fat is actually reduced. Then what we have is we have a fibre matrix of cane fibre, which is a wonderful Australian product that's also been trialled in universities to help with blood sugar regulation. So the cane fibre, the psyllium, the glucomannan and the slippery elm and the chia all form up a fibre matrix. Now that fibre matrix not only helps you feel full, but also helps to give you regularity. Now that's pretty important, because what we're finding today is that people who have distended abdomens and what have you, and are bloated after meal, often have impactions and have excessive amounts of fecal waste in their colon. It's good to have a good fibre. Now fibre is also a prebiotic. So these are all good prebiotics. Glucomannan is actually known to reduce appetite because it swells very dramatically in the stomach, whereas the psyllium is a soluble fibre that will lubricate also the bowels. Figs are a marvellous lubricant, particularly the seeds. This is a whole fig powder that goes into the formula. What we also have is fermented rice bran. Now this rice bran is fermented with about a dozen different types of lactobacillus bacteria. The rice bran is also known to have other immune enhancing abilities in and around the mucilage. So with dryness in mucous membranes, rice bran can also provide a type of lubrication. It creates a nice healthy mucus that enables you to overcome dryness in the mucous membranes. So this is also very good because the intestines can also get very dry. But it's a good medium because we've got all these good probiotics in there. So then we've actually got the prebiotic, which is it's also a sweetener, which is made up of stevia and a number of other ingredients, and including the carob. So the carob is an ancient Middle Eastern pod, and the pod itself is very rich in B vitamins and trace minerals. John the Baptist used to use this when he travelled across the desert as part of his food regime to keep his energy up. Again, this product is very low in carbohydrate and can be used very successfully on a low carbohydrate diet or a ketogenic type diet. We have a number of bioactives, which is the raspberry ketones, the green coffee and the green coffee bean. These are also very well known to help the body lower the fat reserves, particularly again in the liver. The chlorogenic acid, which gets destroyed when you roast coffee in the raw coffee bean, in the unroasted green coffee bean, has an ability to actually help the liver actually burn off the fat that's in the liver and in the surrounding tissues. So what we've actually got with that is that if you go back to some of the fat dissolving pills that you can buy in a health food store or a chemist, they've often got raspberry ketones and the green coffee bean, but they don't have the matrix of the right fibres and they don't have the prebiotics and the probiotics, so you're not getting as much value for your money as what you're getting out of this particular Figafibre. And you've got this, everybody who uses this product recommends the fact that their system has never worked as well in terms of their regularity. They feel so much at ease when so many people are overweight today because they're sitting for long periods of time and constipation is actually rising. Food is slowing down in the intestine, so their transit time is actually improving quite significantly because of the fact that we're holding water, we're growing good bacteria, and we're also taking some of the stress out of the intestine. So the cinnamon, the fennel, the licorice, to some extent the citrus aurantium. The citrus aurantium is actually a metabolic stimulant in the sense that it's what they call thermogenic. So it heats up the body, it allows the body's temperature and the metabolic rate to go up. The cinnamon is a warming herb, but the cinnamon, the fennel and the licorice also help to reduce spasms and relax the bowel and reduce wind and improve digestion. And if you improve digestion, satiety goes up and your requirement for eating extra food and perhaps cravings for carbohydrates goes down. Then to help with, we also have peppermint in there to relax the bowel, and the peppermint also can reduce bloating after the meals, particularly where it comes to any fats that are in the meal. The peppermint helps the gallbladder. to reduce any colic that may be occurring. Then we actually have the lecithin and the carnitine and the iodine. They all have a different role. Lecithin contains choline and inositol. These are very special B vitamins that also help the body metabolize fats. The L-carnitine also helps the body metabolize fats, particularly at a cell level. This happens more at the organ level of emulsifying fats. This actually helps the body transport fats across into the cell so we can turn fats into energy. Iodine, of course, is intrinsic to all this because we have 80% of Australians are deficient in iodine because our soils are very deficient in iodine. As a country, we are low in iodine in our soils along with other trace elements, and we see people today becoming quite iodine deficient, and to a large extent the iodine would be there if people were eating salt, eating iodized salt, but unfortunately people are also being warned to take less salt these days. So salt consumption's gone down, and so iodine consumption's gone down. Once upon a time we used to get lots of iodine from our milk because the farmers, the dairy farmers, would use an iodine solution to lavage the teats of the cow to keep them from becoming infected in any way, shape or form. So it was used as a natural biocide, antiseptic, call it what you like. That's all been taken out now, and these days farmers don't use iodine to cleanse and sterilise the teats of their cows, so we're getting less iodine again through the milk. So iodine is a very important thing, and the other thing that happens to iodine is because we're consuming water that has chlorine and fluoride in it, this also competes with iodine, and our requirement for iodine generally goes up because we've got these halogens in the water. The L-theanine, the lemongrass has a slightly different role to these other herbs. The lemongrass is very nutritive. It's very high in a lot of very, very important flavonoids. It's a very important herb in Asian cooking. And the astringing activity of the lemongrass, I believe, is probably where we get the benefit out of this because it tends to tighten up the tissues and tighten up the intestinal mucosa. And then we have an amino acid called L-theanine. The L-theanine is an ingredient that comes out of black tea. It's very known, and it's a very calming, relaxing substance that is gaining a lot of popularity because today it's really the antidote for coffee and caffeine. So when you're keeping your energy up and keeping your metabolism up from having coffee and other stimulants, the L-theanine helps to balance that back down. It sort of has what they call a GABA response. So what we have here is we have this marvellous product, and what I would ask you to expect from using this product, and by the way, it tastes good, it has a natural berry flavour. What I would expect you to experience from this, as I said, your intestines will start to move the waste through the intestines much, much better. You'll feel much more comfortable. You'll probably find that your stool will be better than it has been for a long, long time. You should, by all rights, have less bloating after meals. And the most amazing thing that happens, you start to eat less food. It's always important to modify your diet. We give you the benefits within the Figafibre so you can modify your diet, so you're not hunting for carbohydrates after a meal. The formula is giving you the nutrients that you need to basically give you a bit more get up and go, to warm your body up, to bring this thermogenesis to the surface so that you've got a little bit more energy to exercise. There's no such thing as weight management without correcting diet and also improving exercise. So we're not saying this product standing alone will help you lose weight. What we're saying is use this as part of your weight management program. Whether you're a naturopath or whether you're a sports physician, you should be thinking about recommending this, a personal trainer. You should be recommending this to your patients and your clients because this product helps people lose inches if they're doing all the other things right. The big thing is what we have in the Figafibre, we have this wonderful support mechanism because of the way we've put all these super nutrients and superfoods together to help you get well, stay and stay slim and trim and have a wonderful life. Thank you.